Hello, my name is Isabella Colaiacova, candidate number 3915, and I'm from Spanish River High School. I'm one of the four creators of No Red Ink. My teammates are Kaylee Duran, Kai Miller, and Emmy Menikini. Before I go into this, No Red Ink is a murder mystery that takes place in a high school. Through the teaser, the audience gets introduced to the suspects and their motives. We were inspired by the movie Knives Out. Murder mysteries usually grasp on the audience's attention span better than any other movie genre, so the twists and turns of the suspects keep the audience engaged to keep watching. Never Think has specific victims that have their own motive, that is good enough to think that it was them that did the crime. That is why we think it would be worthwhile to watch, because the audience can interpretate who the murderer is, since it is open-ended. Another reason why the film is interesting is because the audience gets to see an academic type of murder. The audience gets an inside scoop of school faculty and students that have engaged in the murder. This isn't typically seen in mainstream movies. My production skills developed exponentially during this filming process. Before, I didn't know how to edit or star in a film. Now I understand the basics of editing, like cutting out specific little clips and adding music and, adding layers. I, Isabella Kolyakova, starred in the film. I was a suspect, specifically the student suspect. This was a little rough for my group because I have never acted before, but I jumped over that hurdle and we got to move on. My group used iMovie, an editing software made by Apple. We edited on our phones because we didn't have high quality computers to edit on. Due to our phones, we ran into some problems, like files crashing and not being able to access film necessities due to full storage on our devices. This held up production time to edit because we had to make time to fix these problems. Though we didn't have high-end equipment, I believe we made something special with the equipment that we had. I would like to distribute our film to streaming services like Netflix, HBO Max, and Amazon. It is more common to see a film on the streaming service than in theaters, so for that reason, I reside with streaming services. Also, a note to add is that most murder mysteries are found on, streaming services like Netflix and HBO Max and Amazon and are easy to access and binge, so our audience would be easy, our audience can find it easier than just like going to a theater and then having limited time to see it. My teammates and I have learned more than just editing in this process. We learned how to work together and communicate as a team. Since we were filming on school property with actual teachers, we were limited. We had to put so many matters into consideration, like our teachers' schedules, our schedules, the school hours, location, and if it was school appropriate or not. Of course, as time went on, we solved any issues, though the main ones were figuring out how to film with teachers. Due to their busy schedules, we had to go during lunch periods to film, so we didn't interrupt any actual classes. Though it might not seem like a lot, we had to do this with 3 teachers, so it was a tedious process. We also had to make a script for the teachers to follow and learn. We learned to overshoot scenes so we can easily match scenes together, meaning we had to shoot an excess amount of the same scene just in case we didn't like one scene that was put together. We also decided to add flashback scenes. So as the teacher is speaking, we would flashback to the scene that they were talking about. So it was easy for us to do that because we shot an excess amount of scenes. Our film can be targeted to anyone who is able to watch PG-13 movies. This is because murder mysteries can interest any age group or demographic. There isn't anyone I would say we target because I would recommend this film to anyone because it's one size fits all type of movie. I think the footage we used paired well with the sound choices provided as well. The footage and style went hand in hand with the mystery trope. In conclusion, my group and I did great, regardless of the low equipment we had in the location or any of the problems we faced across this. Thank you.